Pebe Sebert, the songwriter and mother of musical artist Kesha, is taking responsibility for writing a line about notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer in her daughter's 2010 track Cannibal amid scrutiny on the line with the success of the Netflix mini-series Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Story. Sebert, 66, took to TikTok Sunday to clarify her authorship of the song. "Some context on the lyric that's bothering people 12 years later," she said in the caption. "Not meant to shut anyone down, just more info." She said in the clip, "That whole Jeffrey Dahmer lyric in Cannibal is a big controversy right now. I thought I'd just say a few things about it because that was my line that I wrote in Cannibal." Sebert said that at the time the song was written, Kesha and the other writer were too young to even know who Jeffrey Dahmer was. Sebert went into detail about the creative process in which she used the name of the serial killer, who made national headlines for acts of cannibalism and necrophilia. "Literally, the way it happened is I have this rhyming program called Master Writer for Songwriters," she said. "We were looking for a rhyme for Goner, at the very end of the widest rhymes was Jeffrey Dahmer. I was like, oh, my god, that's a perfect lyric." Sebert said that the lyric was not written with the intent to be insensitive to anybody whose families were involved in this and lost loved ones. The songwriter apologized to anyone who's lost a family member in this tragedy, and that they certainly never meant to hurt anybody or make anybody feel bad. She said that at the time, it was a song that we were writing about Kesha. It was a tongue-in-cheek funny song. It was not actually about cannibalism. It was just a title. Sebert said that the controversy comes as the mini-series is kind of bringing attention back, as the song has been out for more than 10 years, probably almost 12 years, and is not something that we've recently written. She added, "Jeffrey Dahmer was just part of the culture back then. Everybody talked about him for many years. What he'd done was so extreme, and so worse than anyone had ever done that anybody knew about." The infamous Milwaukee serial killer murdered 17 people between 1978 and 1991. In 1992, he was convicted of 16 murders, had been charged with, and sentenced to 16 life sentences in prison. He was bludgeoned to death with a metal bar in November of 1994 by Christopher Scarver, another inmate at the Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage, Wisconsin. Both Kesha and Katy Perry and Kesha have dealt with backlash over lyrics referencing Dahmer following the release of the Netflix series, Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Story. Twitter users called out Cannibal and Perry's 2013 track Dark Horse for their mention of the notorious killer in a slew of tweets. Kesha sings in her track Kill Pull at Jeffrey Dahmer, while Juicy J, who was featured in Dark Horse, says she eats your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer. "It still upsets me when I hear the line in the song Dark Horse, she eats your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer, and I always make my daughter turn the station. It's so disrespectful to the victims' families. I hope people remember them while watching Netflix. Sorry for their losses," tweeted one Twitter user. Another Twitter user called on Katy to apologize for the violent, terrible lyric. "Why isn't anyone calling out Katy Perry for allowing such a violent, terrible lyric to be included in one of her hit songs? Jeffrey was a notorious serial killer and Katy chose to romanticize his criminal and inhumane actions. I actually feel sick to my stomach. She needs to apologize." Juicy J was also called out for singing the lyric as well. knowing the depths of what Jeffrey Dahmer did. Juicy J wrong for what he said in that Katy Perry song, posted another. One Twitter user said they would be deleting Cannibal from their playlist. I just learned who Jeffrey Dahmer is and I knew his name was familiar because Kesha put his name in her lyrics for her song Cannibal. I need to delete that song now. Why the heck do we give fandom to these shigos? Of course Netflix makes a series about it. Murders make the stack of dollars emoji, posted the enraged fan. The casual mention of Jeffrey Dahmer in Kesha's song Cannibal has never really sunk in until now, and what the FK, tweeted another. But there were also those slamming the Twitter users, suggesting they were only attacking the songs to remain relevant. The song was trending 2 years ago and no one noticed the lyrics. Now Teresa documentary about Jeffrey Dahmer and out of sudden everyone is all upset and attacking Kesha. 90% of people don't even care, they just wanna be involved, one Twitter user pointed out. Really weird that y'all are so young. The only reason you know who Jeffrey Dahmer is through this Netflix series, and now you guys wanna be relevant by saying how offensive songs that came out 10 years ago. Sorry snowflakes, it's too late for that, another tweeted. The monstrous murderer also committed necrophilia and cannibalism, and would dismember and preserve many of his victims' body parts. His horrific crimes are now being retold in a brand new 10-part Netflix show called Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Story, which premiered on September 21 and stars Evan Peters, Niecy Nash, Molly Ringwald, and Richard Jenkins.